All right. We are Des Alps. What is Des Alps? We're in the business of changing lives. Okay. So, Des Alps is the brainchild labor of love that was created over the past 4 years by a few close friends whose aim was to, listen to this real close, folks, to help average people create a substantial, life-changing income in a relatively short period of time. Now, for those of you that are going to take notes, I want you to listen to this following statement, and we want to drill it into your mind. Des Alps will put more money in people's hands faster than any legit opportunity on the planet. Again, I want to repeat that. Des Alps will put more money in people's hands faster than any legit opportunity on the planet. So, folks, here's the thing I want you to realize. When I make that statement, we're not talking about heavy hitters, the whales, the guys that can bring in hundreds of thousands of people out there. We're talking about the average person that struggled to even make $500 a month, folks. And we're going to show you how that changes. Okay, we're going to run through the disclaimer because number one, I'm not a financial advisor. The information that I'm going to present here is not intended to be financial advice and should not be considered as such. If you seek financial advice, consult a licensed financial services pro. The examples of possible earnings presented are simply examples of what can happen under the parameters presented. We don't live in a perfect world, so we can no way guarantee you'll make X, Y, Z, but we can show you what, based on the perfect numbers that we're going to show you, what it can be and how it works. Individual effort and circumstances will vary from one individual to the next. So, our products, we have very high quality products, affordable costs for purchasing those products, excellent price ratio, the possibility of offering your own products and cash back on every purchase from the community members. So, I'm going to cover this a little bit, but I want to emphasize that what I'm about to tell you, there's videos in your back office, they're populating them right now, that will break down every element of this. So if I go over a little fast, don't get too concerned. But Des Alps does something very unique, guys. What do I mean by that? We're actually going to show you 3 different compensation plans, but they're populated by the same people. So when you build one, you're building 3 incomes at the same time. Okay? Okay? So let's just glance over them. We have 2 2x20 matrices. One we call, Bob and I like to call our meat and potatoes. We have a mirror 2x20 that's tied to the mall compensation. And we have a unilevel. A 2x20 forced matrix means you only have 2 spots. And that's it on your first level. Your second level is 4. And your third level is 8. And then it's 16, and then it's 32. So by only having 2 slots, if somebody were to put 3 people, it has to spill underneath one of the 2. It's called spillover. Okay? We don't like to use that. And we're going to cover the whys and how we do things. But a unilevel, on the other hand, has no boundaries. However many people you personally sponsor is how wide it is. If you sponsor 100, you're 100 wide. Okay? If you sponsor 5, you're 5 wide. So the way the unilevel works, is it has what you call a matching bonus. 50% of the income of those people on that first level, you have a matching bonus. If they make $1,000, you just made 500 per however number of people that is that's earning that level. Your second level is people that fall beneath that first level, and you have 20% of what they make off of that mall income. We're going to go into that into detail in a couple screens up. But your level 3, 4, and 5 all pay 10%. Okay? In order to qualify for all commissions, everyone must make one monthly purchase at any price point from the shopping mall. Okay? So what we want you to imagine is the next 12 months, the goal is for the company to cross 1 million members. Picture for a second that everyone beneath you, how big a pie that could be for each of you that are on this call. You're here at the very beginning. We are in pre-launch currently, about to go live. Okay? And again, I'm going to emphasize, see the videos on the site that'll break down each of the 3 compensation plans for you. Okay. We want to break this down in ways that everybody can understand it. Now, to get into Des Alpes, there are generally 2 possibilities, and one of them probably won't apply to 99%. And we're going to cover that. But 99% will come in and pay $129 one time. Okay, one time. And how that $129 is divided is $9 goes for your back office, $100 goes into the compensation plan, and $20 of this, it's called Alps points, will go right into 2 different parts of your compensation plan. One is the mere 2x20. The other is the 5 generations in the unilevel. Now, I want to slow this down and give you an example how this will work so you have a clear picture. One of the products out there we have a contract with, it currently sells on the market for $59.95 plus shipping. Des Alpes has a contract for $30 with that company, and they pay the shipping and not the client. So when we put this in the mall, the product will sell for $50. It's still more than $10 cheaper than it can be bought on the open market, right? Plus the shipping that they have to pay. So, folks, here's my question. If it costs Des Alpes $30 and it sells for $50 in the mall, how much profit do we have? We're going to make this easy. Easy math, guys. $20. So there's a $20 profit. If I split that $20 into 2 parts, how much is going into each part? 10. So $10 will go into your mere 2x20. In other words, that's 50 cents a level, right? And the other 10 is divided into 5 generations. There's your 50, 20, 10, 10, and 10, right? So let me give you an example of what's going to happen. Now, when we get to the meat and potatoes, you're going to see there's upgrades for levels 3, 4, and 5, as well as 1 and 2. Every time there's an upgrade that happens, $20, $30, $40, and $50 will go into this mall compensation into your wallet. What is going to happen is it will drive the average commission per person per purchase to $3.50 to $5 per. Okay? $3.50 to $5 per. So folks, let's have a little fun. If I had 1,000 people, and I'm going to tell you, in the beginning, you only pay 10 levels here until you earn your way to the top. Okay, 10 levels. But in those 10 levels is 1,024 people. So if I have 1,000 people per se in my group, and we average $5 per product sold, how much is that mere 2x20 going to pay me every month? Because this is paid monthly. 5,000. Folks, for those that you haven't made $500, how long did it take us to get to 5,000? Would that make a difference in your life? See, now we only took one mere 2x20. We didn't show you the unilevel. We didn't show you the meat and potatoes. We showed you, you know what we showed you, folks? We showed you the whipped cream on top of the chocolate shake. This is just the whipped cream on top of the chocolate shake. This is just temptation. So let's kind of move on and let's break it down a little farther. Okay. Now this part looks familiar, right? When people come in, you can come in three ways, and everybody starts at the same place. You're either a customer or a VIP customer. Let me explain why. Because when you come in, you haven't sponsored anybody. Nobody's helped you sponsor anybody. Some people will come in just as a customer. You'll get 1 out of 1,000 who'll do that. They pay $20 a month and $9 for the back office, or $29 a month. And they get 50% back on 10 levels on purchases, cash back. So they get to buy stuff for free without putting money in out of their pocket. They don't get no cash. Okay? So a VIP customer, this is where 99% of us started. We started as a VIP customer. We paid $120. We paid $9 for our back office. Now, if you're only a VIP and you have never sponsored anybody, don't have your first person yet, you'll receive $50 in online store credit for the 2 people that spill over you, if that happens. The other $50 goes back to the sponsor that created that overflow or spillover. Okay? So, this is where the breakdown really starts. This is where you want to be, ambassador. Okay? Ambassador. What is an ambassador? That means you brought in your first personally sponsored person. First person. Now, Bob and I will tell you, folks, you don't stop at 1. You want to get 2. Why do we want 2 people and not 1? Qualification. If I bring in 1 person, I'm qualified for 5 levels. If I bring in 2 people, I'm qualified for 20 levels. More money. I like that. More money. Okay? So, let's break it down a little farther, folks. Notice in my diagram, 11 and 12 are now open and boxed. What triggered that? It's an upgrade to my first level. When I paid the 120, I either had 2 people or 2 people spilled over. It opened up when we upgraded to open up 11 and 12. When level 3 comes along, 13 and 14 are going to open. And then 15 and 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 as you go through the 5 levels. Every time to upgrade, it opens up more until you 20 levels here. Okay? I know that sounds a little confusing, but it's quite simple. And it's going to become clear when we get to the next slide. Okay. Part 2 to 3 scenarios to join. Okay. We kind of covered this a little bit, so I'm going to go real fast here so we get to the meat and potatoes. Customers can only get paid on 10 levels cash back. Okay. Now, you can accumulate that money and actually upgrade the $1,100 for 6 through 10 or 2,100 levels through 11 through 20 and never have gone through the regular compensation plan. It's potentially possible, and it will happen for some people. Okay? Now, as you can see, when you upgrade level 3, you go to 16 levels, level 4, 18 levels, upgrade to level 5, you get paid 20 levels in cash back. You go all the way through the 20 levels. Okay? So here's our quick points, and then we'll go right into meat and potatoes. We have a one-time $129 out-of-pocket that can earn you an amazing long-term income. There's no true auto ship. All monthlies and upgrades come out of profit and are totally optional. But here's our big point. No one drops out. Never. And we'll show you why. Now, how do we pay and how do we get paid? Credit card and debit card in the countries that are accepted, you can get paid direct deposit. If you're in a country that does not have credit or debit card, USDC can be used, which is a stable coin tied to the US dollar. So we also have a debit card, which we're going to touch on, that's coming out a little later. You must be 18 years of age or older, and KYC will be done. Know your customer. You can only take one position in the company. You cannot stack an LLC or EINs that you own or have interest in. Can't do it. You can change to an LLC or EIN later on from your personal should you choose to do that. Screenshots of earnings are considered enticement. It's not allowed. But just sticking with this deal and following our lead, you'll see your income increase almost automatically over time. All right, meat and potato time. For those of you here, if you want to take notes, I think it wouldn't hurt. But when I come in and got started, I put my first 2 people in. I paid my $129, right? $9 from back office. 100 goes to commission. 20 will go over here now as points. Okay? So I brought 2 people in, Bob and Robert. The company is going to pay me $100 per member. Folks, they just paid me $200. How much did I put in to start? $129. Folks, I don't know about you. Is $200 more than $129? I'm in profit. I've already made $71 profit on paper anyway, right? Am I ever going to quit when I'm in profit? Who's going to drop out if you're in profit? Okay? So now I got my 2 people. My job's changed. My job is to help them get their 2. Right? Now, there's an upgrade to level 2. It's $200. But I've got 200 sitting in my bank. I'm not pulling anything out of my pocket. Right? I didn't pull a penny out of my pocket. But I'm going to help my 2 get their 2. Now, I'm going to get paid $100 per member or $600, folks. So 600, let's see, how much is my expenses? I got 600 coming in. I got 329 going out. Am I making anything at all right here yet? Are we in profit? Yes. So, folks, my job changed, right? I've got to help those 4 people get their 2 people. In other words, 8 people. My upgrade for that level is 330 now. So my expenses went up, but it's coming out of where? It's coming out of profit, right? So when I help my 4 people get their 2, the company's now going to pay me $1,400. Folks, I don't know about you. When I add all this together, let's see, that's 536, 660. If I subtract 660 from 1,400, I'm making almost $800. Folks, we just barely got started. We didn't even scratch the surface. Okay? So now the job changed. We're going to help our 8 people get their 2 people. 16 people. My upgrade is now 440. But it's coming out of $1,400 over here and all the rest, right? And now we're starting to make some money. Now they just paid me $3,000 more. Okay? Now we're about to get serious, folks. We're going to our 5th level. Our upgrade just hit 550, right? And we now have a total of 62 people in our 5 levels. They just added another 6,200. So when we add all this up, right? How much is my expenses? $1,649 coming out every month, right? This is a repeating process every 30 days. Okay? So when we add it all up and we total all this up, we're gross is 11,400, subtract 1,649, gives me a net of $9,751. Folks, if 9,751 net every month won't change your life, I'm going to suggest you check your pulse and make sure it's still pumping blood. Okay? Now, what's going to happen below the 5th level, 6 through 10, you have an optional upgrade annually of $1,100. Folks, set it aside because it's worth $100 per person as they pop into your 6 through 10. Okay? Now remember, every one of these people have their own 2x5 that they're trying to build. When they build this 2x5, theirs, because it's overlapping, it's going to fill your 6 through 10. Now, something unique happens in Des Alpes that I've never seen anywhere else. Okay? Let's say you get a whole bunch of people falling in your 6 through 10, and you haven't paid your 1,100 yet, right? What's going to happen? It's going to put it in a reserve bank for you, escrow. You don't lose anything. It's banked up for you. So when you do, it instantly shows up in your bank, in your office bank. Boom. How's that for a pay raise, guys? Ka-ching. Yes, ka-ching. Now, there is one other upgrade. Okay, the other upgrade is a once-in-a-lifetime upgrade. It's not annual like this one. Okay, it's once in a lifetime. But, folks, when you total it up, there's almost 2 million people in your 2 by 20. Do you think you're going to worry about it being more than once in a lifetime with all those numbers? Okay? It ain't going to happen, is it? All right. Now, we want to break this down so you have no confusion. So, on a piece of paper, new people, I want you to write 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And across from that, we want you to write 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32. And off to one side, I want you to write the number 62 and circle it. These are the numbers that are most important to you. Most important numbers. This 5 levels always stays with you. It's residual monthly, every month, over and over and over, repeating itself month after month. This is your bread and butter, your meat and potatoes. Okay, now on that piece of paper, remember we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and across 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32. Now, Bob and Robert fall on my first level. They are going to upgrade 5 times. All right, Gary, what do I mean by that? Well, it means Bob and Robert came in, paid their 129, but when they got their 2 people, they upgraded to the next level. So there's 4 people fell under them, right? So they upgraded. And when they filled their level 3, they upgraded. And when they filled their level 4, they upgraded. And level 5, they upgraded. So they're going to pay me 5 times. The people that fall on their first level, my second level, is going to upgrade 4 times. Why only 4 times? Well, because their 5th is my 6th. And that's a different compensation plan. That's where the $1,100 upgrade came in, remember? So, people on my 3rd will upgrade 3 times, 4th 2 times, and 5th 1 time. So when we do the math, 2 times 5 times 100 is $1,000. Bob and Robert are working me every month. The people on their first level, my second level, pay me $1,600 a month. My 3rd level, $2,400 a month. My 4th level, $3,200, and my 5th level, $3,200. So when we add all these numbers up, we add them up, and it turns out there's our 11,400 number again, guys. So we subtract what is our monthly expenditures: 129, 200, 330, 440, 550 equals 1649. Subtract 1649 from 11,400, net $9,751, folks. $9,751 net every month off my first 5 levels. That doesn't count either of the mall compensation plans. This is our meat and potatoes. This is what we're able to count on month after month after month. Okay? Now, we also want to set aside an upgrade of $1,100 for 6 through 10 and $2,100 for the lifetime of 11 through 20. Okay? So now if we go back to the comp plan and look at it, it's going to make a lot more sense to you. Well, let's go back to the actual comp. There we go. There we go. So what's going to happen is these 2 people are going to upgrade 5 times, right? They're going to upgrade to this, then this, then this, then this. These people will only upgrade to their second level, 3rd, 4 times. and so on. So as they upgrade, that's what generates that 9,751. Okay? Folks, will this change your life? Now, you've already turned one time $129 out of pocket into a monthly income, folks. We only pay the $129 one time. Everything else will always come out of profits. So, remember the monthly upgrades become your new monthly expense, $16.49. So Bob and I often right here tell the story that somebody's going to come along, see $5,000 in their back office. They had never made that kind of money before. And they're going to think, well, we could go to Vegas for the weekend. And they're going to pull out that $5,000 and go have a good time, pay for the motel, airline tickets, gamble, whatever, and come back, and there's no money in the back office to pay the expenditures. What do you think is going to happen, folks? There's no money to pay the upgrades. There won't be any commissions that next month for them, right? So instead of doing that, Bob has the answer for you guys. He says take 3,000 out, leave 2,000 in there to cover it. Okay, because you're going to miss out more than 5,000 anyway because it's still growing for you. Okay, cover your expenses. Put it on automatic. Don't take a chance. Put it on auto so it comes out. So, all right, the debit card. Yeah, your wife's going to kill you. Okay. The debit card. We're real close to the debit card coming out. You can load to your debit card instead of your bank if you choose to. I would definitely do it. Look, if I withdraw $20,000 to my bank, particularly here in the US, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to get somebody's attention, right? IRS. Okay. So rather than do that, now I'm not telling you, do not duck your taxes, but I'd rather pay them at the end of the year. Okay. So follow me with this. If I add my money to my debit card, I can pay all my bills, but they're going to pay me 1.5% back. Right? I just made money on the money I made. Money on the money I made instead of a fee. Everybody else is paying a fee to get your own money. Folks, for those of you that have dealt with crypto, every time you do a transaction, you're paying a fee to somebody, right? Instead of paying a fee, I'm getting paid 1.5%. That might help cover them taxes at the end of the year. It won't do it all, but it'll sure help. Won't hurt. I can pay all my bills with that debit card. It's no different than one come from my bank, right? Think of it this way. If the only thing you paid, for those of you who have a mortgage, if you're between 3% to 6%, 1.5% paying that mortgage is like having a rebate of 1.5% on your mortgage. Anybody thought about that one? So, anyway, enough on the debit card is coming. It won't be very long. So, we want you to contact the person that invited you to this call. We want you to commit to them. Make a commitment. Start this year like you've never started in a year. We're all here to help you. Nobody left behind. Okay? We're here to help each other succeed together. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you a little story quick before we get through this slide. And I kind of missed this. Bob and I built this a little different than any traditional company we've ever done.
Oh.
Bob only has 2 personally sponsored people. Gary has 2 personal sponsored people. We have both put in the 20s, but we helped other people. We helped qualify them. They're in profit. 90% of our group has 2 people. Folks, you are looking at over 50% of the company is in our group. We are the largest, and we will never be caught. Gary has 2 personal sponsored people. All right, time to start your business, folks. New people, contact the person that told you about this call. Okay? Contact the people that told you about the call, so they'll get you a link to register. We're here to help each other to succeed. Alone we go faster, but together we go farther. The great Nelson Mandela. Our strength is in the community.